Oh, he's way above us. 450. Just saw him through the binos, right up there. Worst possible spot he could be, but he's down. What we're trying to do here, joint the head, joint the neck, separate this incredibly massive rack from his body. He slid down the hill. He's in a little bit easier place that we can get to. So we'll get him gutted. Probably gonna have to come back in the morning to get much of anything, but we'll see what we can pack out tonight. Here we are. We're gonna try to get this thing field dressed, roll it down the mountain a little bit further, make it a little bit easier to clean up. It is pretty steep on the side of this hill. He got hung up on this log, which is fine. So I went ahead and cut open the stomach cavity, ran my knife all the way down to the brisket, skin him open, all the way back to the tailbone. You gotta cut off the penis up past where his balls are, leave the tip of the penis, skin the hide, and then you're just gonna loosen the penis from the tissues, connected tissues, all the way back to the pelvis. So it's kind of hard to see where I'm working at here, but you got to loosen up until it gets to the opening in the pelvis. Just loosen up the rectum and what's left of the tissues holding his pecker in place, and then we're going to slide it all out. So once you have, just take a good hold of this, and then you're going to work your knife around the inside of the pelvic bone, around the bung. Okay, if you cut through the bung at this point, not a big deal. Cut off your walking stick, not a big deal. But work your knife on the underside of the tail around the pelvic bone to loosen up the rectum and the large intestine. You got to get it loosened back here or else you're not going to be able to pull it through. Loosen up the rectum. Once you do that, well, I forgot to say, if you've got a couple zip ties, you can zip tie the rectum. If you've got some string, you can tie it off. That'll prevent any feces from coming out the back end while it's getting pulled through. Again, you just got to do the best you can out here in this kind of environment. After that, push as far as you can, but up through the pelvis. Try to loosen up as much of that connective tissue as possible, but you got to get it started. You can't just yank on it from this side. It just won't work. So then we're just going to try to pull all the rest of his guts out here and get him field dressed. You may rupture something, especially when you're dealing with a bunch of rocks and random stuff around here. So. Small intestine, large intestine, rectum. Like I said, it's still kind of attached. You're just gonna have to run our knife up from the inside. Try not to cut through it if you can, but this is a little different than being in the shop and having everything at your disposal. All right, got a little few nuggets there. Just grab them, toss them out. It won't kill you. It's just grass. Got the rectum out. Just keep pulling here. At this point, try not to stick your knife in if you don't have to. Most of this stuff, at least on beef cows, pulls right out. This guy may be a little bit tougher, but kidney, keep the kidneys. They're not really, you can make some kidney pie. We'll just keep pulling this out, hopefully. All right, that's good. Got the liver out. One thing to remember when you take your liver out, if you're gonna save it, look for the gallbladder. Gallbladder is usually attached to it. If you're pulling the stomach out, sometimes you may end up pulling it out with the stomach, but you got to cut that gallbladder off. It has like a yellow bile liquid in there. So I can feel inside here, we got a busted rib. Looks like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th rib right in front of your good loin steaks. Busted the rib and then blew out the top of his heart. 450 yards, folks.
Through the heart.
Through the heart. Ain't gonna top that one. We got animal gutted. We got the liver, the heart, the kidneys, the testes, and the tenderloins pulled out. We got our spot marked. Snow's starting to come down. It's close to 5 o'clock. We got to get back before it gets too dark to cross the creek. We're gonna try to find some more help. Be back out here tomorrow. It's gonna be a lot of work, but we're getting this animal out of here. So it's 11:30, 3 hours to get up here. We're about 50 yards, 75 yards from the carcass. We kind of moved around to get uphill because we did see a couple bear tracks on the way up here that were pretty fresh. We were able to get all 4 quarters off. We got the loins out, the back straps, a little bit of neck meat, cleaned up as much as we could. There's definitely a bear that was up here chewing on the carcass and had eaten a bunch of the guts and stuff. So we don't want to hang out here real long, but we got a good little pile of meat here. We just got to figure out how to get it back down the mountain. Got all the meat here. Got it in a cooler with some ice. We're in Danny's garage right now, so we're gonna start on these shoulders and get to work. Hopefully we can get it all done this evening. But a lot of work ahead of us, but good stuff.